So you have an audience, you have something to sell, and you want to know how you can get more sales, get more business, and generate a greater income while ideally also helping more customers. Here's exactly how it's done, even if you don't have 10,000 followers. What's up, guys? My name's Josh Ryan. I'm a 19-year-old here in New Zealand. I built a pretty successful business over the past few years on Instagram. Now I'm showing you guys how to crush it online, make a bit of extra cash online, and do better things with that money. So subscribe if you're interested in learning more about that and want to see more videos like this in the future. Let's get into it. So the best way to drive more sales on Instagram for a results-based sort of product or service, so consulting, coaching, a course, even a physical product that helps solve a problem, like something like a home exercise piece of equipment that would help improve your lower back pain or whatever, is through the Instagram story. And this is a tactic that no one really utilizes, but it is so powerful, and I'm going to explain that to you today. It should easily be able to increase the amount of sales and traffic you drive from your story by about 5 to 10 times, so 500 to 1,000%. And that's not some bullshit Grant Cardone 10x. No, this is like, seriously, you'll probably be able to do anywhere from 5 to 15 times more sales through your story with this. Now, before we get into this, I'm sure there is someone sitting there like, Josh, I don't have 10,000 followers. How can I do this? Because many people are of the belief that the only way to generate traffic from a story is through the swipe up feature, and that's total rubbish. I would actually use this even if you have 10,000 or more followers. I personally have got 10,000 or more on I don't even know, 5 or 6 pages, and I never use the swipe up really unless it's a brand deal. So I would be using this even if you have 10,000 followers. So let's get into it. The first things you're going to need to get results with the strategy is, one, an audience of people who follow you for a specific reason. Now, when I say this, I basically just mean it's not going to work if you've got like a personal account that's got 300 followers and some of them follow you because they went to school with you, and some are your family, and some are your mates, and some of them you play video games with. These people fit into a whole range of different categories, and it's going to be too hard to sell to them. And also, it's your friends and family. You don't really want to be spamming them, or not spamming, but selling them something that they're not interested in at all. So a reason someone could follow you could be a range of things. Maybe you give advice about golf or tennis or cricket or fitness or investing or online marketing like myself, or cooking or whatever, healthcare. Whatever it is, you need an audience of people. It doesn't have to be big. It could even be 500, 1,000, 2,000 followers. Doesn't have to be a lot. Doesn't have to be millions. But that follow you for something like that want to learn from you or so forth, whether you offer a service or a product as a solution to their problems. And secondly, you're going to need a solution to their problems. So if you post advice for golfers on how to improve their swing, you're going to need either a product or a service. If it's a service, it could be online coaching, whether you hop on the phone with them, do a Skype call, or maybe you meet them in person and help them improve their swing. That could be a solution to a problem. The other way of doing it is like a digital product where you could have like an online course or so on. Or thirdly, it could actually be a physical product. So it could be like a home exercise machine that you sell, which allows them to remove lower back pain, become more flexible, and have a better swing. Now, that's just for the golf niche. It could be for any niche, but that's just an example of what I'm talking about. Now, also, just a side note, you don't have to have these products. You don't have to go through the time and effort of creating them. You could find other people's products and sell them for them, and they give you a commission. It's called affiliate marketing. So you might get 50% commission or so, but I'll talk about that in a later video. Let's dive into how you can crush it with your story and drive a ton of sales. So the first thing you want to do is you want to pre-frame your audience with 3 to 5 stories of value. I like to go with the strategy of either giving a 3-step strategy or 3 best ideas, or sometimes a bit of an emotional hook to draw these people in. And I'm going to give you guys an example of that right now. And the idea of these, by the way, is to lead people into the offer. Rather than someone just whipping up your Instagram story, they have a look and boom, it's an offer. You want a few leading into it to sort of soften them up for it. So Here's an example. I could use story number 1 if I'm selling an Instagram course. Could be the 3-step process to kicking ass and hitting 100,000 followers on Instagram. That could be the top of the written text. Then under that, it could be like hashtag 1, create captivating content specific to a certain group of people. And then number story 2, I'm going to have the same one and then add a number 2, which says get your content in front of the right people. This can be through using targeted hashtags, creative captions, and cross-promoting with similar pages. So that would be the second story. And then the third one, you'd have a 3 under it, would be super consistent for the next 3 months, reinvest any income back into influencer promotions and content, and scale up your growth. So instantly, I've done 3 stories there, which give my audience value. That there alone will help them get results on Instagram and grow their following. And if you follow those, you will get results. Another alternative to this is going with a more emotional side of things. So another thing I could do if I'm selling an Instagram course could be story number 1 could be, for the first 2 years I was on Instagram, I absolutely struggled. I had no growth, I made no money, and I didn't know what I was doing. Then the second story could be, until I met whoever. And from that day, I learned from him, and he showed me the way of Instagram and helped me crush it. And then number 3 would be, thanks to his advice, I've been able to gain X amount of followers, make X amount of dollars, and so on. And then I'm going to show you how to pitch them. That's your 2 options. 1, give them value. 2, create a bit of a story. All right, step number 2 is post some results. And so this leads into what I was just mentioning before. And this shows people what's possible with your solution. And it shows real people who have achieved the results they're looking to achieve, and just increases the chances they're going to be interested in what you have to sell. It makes everything real and tangible for them. Here's an example. So for the first one, when I was talking about the Instagram growth, I could use story number 4 would be, using this technique, John has been able to hit 100,000 followers in 4 months and start making a full-time income from Instagram. Along with Sarah, who's also just started a month ago and passed over 10,000 followers. So that's story number 4. You could use that for either of the examples I gave. And the idea of that is to basically show the results are real and tangible and what similar people in their position have been able to achieve. Now, of course, I think this goes without saying, make sure these are all real. Like, don't bullshit testimonials like a lot of people do to try and ramp up your sales. Like, just be genuine with it. All right, now you have laid the foundations for your pitch. You've given them some value and given them some advice for what they can go away and get results with. You've showed them real tangible results of people who were in a similar situation to them, and then had the solution that you're going to pitch them, and now they're getting the results that this person wants to get, which basically sets them up to be ready to buy whatever you're selling. Whether it's a course, whether it's services, whether it's consulting. You could do this for an agency, by the way, too. It doesn't have to be some sort of course or so on. Works for anything. I use it for my agency. I use it for affiliate marketing. I use it for pushing people to this YouTube channel even. But anyway, this is usually where someone would post a swipe up. For story number 5, after those 4, they would then go ahead and say, swipe up and buy my course. This is where things change up and we do it a bit differently. Because this just throws away valuable sales. Let's say you've got 1,000 people that view your story actively. You do this and 30 of them swipe up. Maybe only one of those people actually buys it, and the other 29, you don't know who they are. You can't send them a follow-up message and say, hey, did you have any questions about our product or our service? Or, hey, would you be interested? Or, hey, did you get a chance to check it out? You don't have any opportunity to follow up with these people, and they will just go away and, you generated your one sale. You made $50 or $100 or $1,000 or $10,000, depending on what you are selling. What I like to do is rephrase the offer as a question and then have a yes/no poll under that, and I then follow up everyone who responds positively to the poll with the offer, and then I can reply to them. It's more personal. I get to get their feedback if they say, hey, it's too pricey. Hey, does it do this? Hey, is it going to affect this? I can respond to them, give them the answers, and help close the sale. This is especially good for like a more expensive thing, because the more expensive it is, the more effort you'll probably have to go to in the sales process. So just sending someone to a sales page won't always work. So as example number 5, you could go something along these lines. I've put together a program which helps you kick ass on Instagram. It walks you through every single step you need and partners with you with an accountability partner to keep you on track for your goals. Who'd be interested? Then there's a yes, no. Then you follow up with a message and say, hey, here's a link to the course. Here's a link to the Facebook group. Here's a link to the free presentation I made. Here's a link to the free YouTube video I made. Whatever it might be that you're sending people to, you follow up with that message from there. And that's about it when it comes to this strategy. It's as simple as that. You have an audience who is interested in a certain thing. You have a product which solves their problems. You do 3 to 4 stories of valuable content for them. The 4th or 5th story would then be some sort of testimonial or proof of results from people who were in their position, took your solution, and now are in the position that your audience wants to be. And then after that, you rephrase your offer as a question and follow up with everyone who responds to the poll. Now, way more people, by the way, are going to be interested if you do it this way, because let's say you have those same 1,000 viewers, you get 30 swipe ups. If you do a story poll, you could easily get 100 people respond to that are interested. Like, it's much less commitment to hit that than it is to swipe up and load a web page. So it's also going to increase that side of things. And this is basically the best strategy you can use to drive traffic in 2019 and going into 2020. It's better than post in the feed. It's better than post with a swipe up. It's the way to go. So hopefully this video was of some value to you and you learned how you can crush it with Instagram stories. And hopefully, therefore, if you enjoyed it, you will go ahead and smash the like button down below, because that does help us reach more people and help more people crush it online, which is really the mission of this YouTube channel. I have my full-time income, which comes from my agency, and I created this basically just to help you guys learn how you can make more money on Instagram and grow your audience, make an online income, because no one's really teaching it authentically. There are a couple of people that do it well, but most people are just doing it as a ploy to sell something to you. And yeah, I may have things to sell in the future. I may promote affiliate things of products that I believe in, but at the end of the day, I just want to help you guys get results. So if you enjoy this content, smash the subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.